Hi, lovely, and welcome to More Than the Glass. This is a space for honest conversation about motherhood, alcohol, identity, and reconnecting with yourself. I'm Karen,
And I'm Gillian.
and wherever you are on your journey, you are so very welcome here because we deserve more. Now, today we wanted to talk about why so many mums rely on alcohol to cope.
Well, where do we start?
This is a biggie.
It is. And I think first and foremost, we just need women to know that they are not broken. Like, they are exhausted.
Mhm.
And this is what we want to raise awareness of.
Yeah.
Like, it is the load of motherhood that creates this kind of like void and this reason why alcohol is used
Hmm.
by so many mums.
Yeah.
And it's so important that the mums that we're talking to know it is not them, it is what we're carrying. It's the exhaustion.
Mhm.
And that level of exhaustion is so normalized that we almost don't even we're not even aware of it.
No.
Um, and it's so funny that we're talking about this today because I shared a reel just the other day, which if it wasn't so real, it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. So it was. So these people, it looked like they were on like a online interview,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the man was telling them what the job entails, and it was like no breaks. You're required to be on your feet at all times. You are literally at they kept calling them the associate. Um, you're at the associate's beck and call. You may not sleep. There are no holidays. Like there are no, and you could see these people's faces.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going
What am
for
I
that.
signing up for?
I'm not doing that. And then they were like, and the pay, and they was like, oh no, you don't get paid. They were like, what?
What? Yeah.
And then it finished with like, and what have I told you that like millions of people are doing this job right now,
Hmm.
and nobody could believe it. Like nobody could believe it. And then of course they said, mums.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really feel sometimes we need to take a step back and look at like the modern world as well, because I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody, but my mum certainly didn't work in a full-time, stressful job role. My nan certainly didn't, and yet, as much as we're very privileged to have been born when we are, for all of the
Mhm.
opportunities and everything that we've been given and the rights, women's rights, etc., the load that has created on modern women, modern mums, is like nothing that has ever been seen before.
Absolutely not. And you're right. Like, and it's not to take away from our mums and our grands and stuff
No.
like that. Like they had worries. Like they had
Hmm.
real worries. They didn't have the luxuries
Hmm.
that we've got. However, the demands, like I do think sometimes that we've kind of screwed ourselves over in the like in the demand for more.
Mm.
We have got more, but nothing else has been taken off us
No, no.
in order to pursue that, um, like the full time jobs.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
but the load at home hasn't really altered. And I suppose I should caveat this here, right? Because if John or Chris are to listen to this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be separated by the time they get to the end of the end of the episode. I have got a very, very good husband, and he is hands on. Like
Yeah.
it is, he does do a lot with Alfie. He does do a lot in the house. he rants and raves that he's like a single parent. Like he's not, but he thinks he is at times. But there's things that men just don't see.
Yeah, completely. And that our children, well, certainly from my perspective, and I'm sure the same with Alfie, that they tend to just be like, just see us. And not, I mean, Chris works from home, so Chris will be at home working, and I'll get a phone call. I'll be out of the house, maybe in a meeting or doing something, and I'll get a message or like a phone call going, "Mum, can I do this or can I do that?" And I'm like, "Your dad
You
is
got that
literally in
when
the
you were up
next room."
staying with me. So
I
you were
did,
in a different country and
yeah,
James was phoning you,
yeah.
asking you for some, oh, no, Will was asking you where his boots were for work.
That's right. Yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah. And I'm literally in a different country, and yeah, he can't find what he needed for work. Yeah, his boots, and I got the phone call. Mum, I can't find them. Where are they? I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay,
Yeah,
what do I need to do? But it's like they've just got that tunnel vision that actually, or Mum will know. Mum will sort that out.
yeah.
It's just like, okay.
And the other one, like the other day there, I was out and I had said to John, when you go to the shops, can you get X, Y,
Hmm.
Z?
Hmm.
And we also needed toilet roll, but I hadn't said toilet roll. And I said to him, did you get toilet roll? He's like, you didn't ask for toilet roll.
You didn't specifically
It's
mention
like,
that, Gillian. So
I'm
yeah.
the only person that wipes their bum in this house. Like, and so there's like, there is the jobs, there's the actual jobs out the house, there's the
Mm,
jobs in the house, which people generally divide
yeah, yeah.
fairly or unfairly. Different
Mhm.
houses operate in different ways. I'm sure when you've stayed at my house, you've thought, "Oh, Chris and I don't do it that way," and vice versa. Like
Vice versa,
people,
yeah.
people have got their own ways, but there's that invisible stuff
Mhm.
that people, mums mainly, do for the kids or for themselves and for their wider family that are kind of unseen,
Yeah.
like not just doing the shopping, when they do the shopping,
Mhm.
um, knowing when like that clean uniform is going to run out in however many days and
Yeah.
not the day that they need the
Yeah.
clean uniform, um, the packing for holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, it all sounds very first world problems, like packing for holidays and stuff like that. But aye, when the school trip is,
Mm.
or the school, they're other ones. They phone
Oh
the
my
mums, they
goodness.
don't phone the
No,
dads.
never, never. And oh, I got a classic phone call again. I was out at work, and I got a phone call from the school saying they were going just on like a school trip, and the teacher rang me and said, Mrs. Long, has James not brought a coat today? And I'm like, I was out of the house before he even left for school. I'm in a meeting. I'm out of town. And they were like, oh, James hasn't come with a coat today. And he needs one. And I'm like, okay. I mean, what can I do about this? So then, yeah, so then I had to then ring Chris and get him to sort it out. But I was just like, for goodness sake, it's just like ridiculous. But yeah, just like that, just that. Can you make sure you take your coat today? Every weekend, like going on like the app to book like his school lunches and that kind of thing. Again, it's like a simple thing, but it's like if I don't remember to do that, then it doesn't happen. Like,
And who gets the blame of it when it doesn't
oh
happen?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, I know. It's
Uh,
just it is like those just like you say, like hidden things, and we're not complaining about it. It's just to highlight the fact that there is so much World Book Day, all of that kind of thing, like knowing when they've got. I mean, the worst time of year ever is the lead up to Christmas. I
mhm.
honestly, I mean, it might be different this year because obviously James is starting senior school, but my God, the primary school December calendar is like
Yeah.
nothing on earth. It's literally like dress down on that day and bring in something for the chocolate tombola, like Christmas lunch on this day. So you've got to wear like your Christmas jumper. the next week it's like party clothes and like a part, like dress down. There is literally something to remember nearly every single day in that period, where of course, you know, we're not busy at all, like organised getting ready for Christmas, are we? We're just like, come on,
I
bring it
know.
on, bring it on. But it tends to fall to the mum to sort out, and it's just insane.
I do think, and I think we've got to be careful here as well, because I do know that there's times that even if John does do the stuff, that
Mm.
it's not done it the way I would do it. Right, so I'm going to call myself out here.
Yeah,
There is a bit of control over
yeah.
certain things,
Mhm.
right? And that we can also be a bit of our own worst enemy as well. But it's exhausting. And what it then creates is like you're, I know that I'll probably get this round the wrong way. You're not being a good enough, you're trying to act like a mum that doesn't work, and you're trying to work like you're not a mum, and you
Mhm.
end up never doing either of them
Yeah.
properly. Like
Oh,
when there's so
yeah.
many plates to spin, inevitably for just the bog standard mum, right? There'll be other people who feel like they've got their shit together, but it just breeds that sense of I'm not doing this well enough,
Mhm.
therefore I'm not good enough.
Yeah. Completely. You know, you can, and that juggle is just awful. Like, you remember, like dropping off at school and then rushing in and being late for work. I mean, it's just horrendous because you do feel like you're just not doing anything good enough
Mm-hmm.
or right enough, and you're just letting down your kids or you're letting down your employer. Like, it's just such a hard space to be in, and all the time your brain is just on massive, like, high alert, because you're like, oh my god, right, what do I need to think about next, what do I need to think about next?
Yeah, it is. It's just there's a constant and the next thing and the next thing
Hmm.
and the next thing. And then you get to bed that night and you think, oh, and I never done, oh, and I never done, oh, and I
Yeah,
never done.
yeah.
And there's the physical jobs to do, and there's the mental load,
Hmm.
and there's a kind of emotional fallout of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And that's where that's where alcohol slips in.
yeah.
Um, And yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to talk about the load of motherhood any longer. People who are on this call or on this podcast will know. They'll be like,
I
yeah,
feel it.
I'm
Yeah,
right. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I think it's about raising the awareness, like the context in which people are drinking
Hmm.
needs to be raised and understood,
Yeah.
because many of the women that we've seen in our circle believe that they're the issue,
Hmm.
and they're not necessarily looking at the circumstances and the environment and the load in which they are drinking.
Yeah,
They're looking at themselves picking up a glass,
yeah.
and it's never that straightforward.
No, exactly. I mean, there is no wonder that alcohol kind of like swoops in at that moment, because it does. We acknowledge it provides that moment to stop. It gives that relief or reward, and that's what we were definitely looking for. You know, that's how we cope, and that's what we're told as well. That is, and that's another conversation for another day, but again, that's what we're told by society, by mummy wine culture. That's how we cope, that's our reward. Well done, you've got through another massively busy day, sit down, have your glass of wine, everything will be fine, everything will ebb away. And if you don't stop for this, when, you know, what are you going to stop for? When are you going to stop? It also, by having that glass of wine, I think eliminates some other mum guilt, because you're racked with mum guilt day in, day out anyway. So you just grab a glass of wine. You're not leaving the house. Like, you're still in the house, you know, you're still available. You can still be doing other things. You can
Mm-hmm.
still be like there multitasking. You could be having your glass of wine while you're still cooking the dinner. Um, it's a minimum effort, maximum reward, right? Rather than being like, okay, I need like to take that me time and going out the house or whatever, or doing something for yourself, putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. You're actually, okay, no, I won't do that. I won't go and do my gym class or whatever, because I need to make sure that they've got this and that and the other, and everyone else's needs are adhered to, and everything else. Or, I won't go and just get that like half an hour's walk or whatever else it is. You're like, no, do you know what? I'll settle for that glass of wine because it'll quieten everything off. It's what I deserve, and then I'm still here, and I can still be
Yeah.
available to everybody, and I can still do everything. And that's why we do it. That's why we do it.
It's just made me realise. So at the weekend, I put up a wee reel on Instagram about how my wee boy knew that I was in the bathroom getting ready to go to the gym instead of
Mhm.
getting ready for a hangover. And one of our previous mums commented, and she's like, "Oh, I always feel dead guilty going for my run on a Sunday, but now this has made me realise
Yeah,
I'm showing a good example." And that's
exactly.
exactly what you've just described, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Going out the house, leaving the house,
Mhm,
getting in the car and driving to the class,
mhm.
saying I'm not here, I'm going out with somebody. There comes guilt attached to
Yep,
that. But the
yep.
glass of wine while making the dinner, the glass of wine once the kids are in bed, the
Mhm.
glass of wine at the end of the week means you're always still within arm's reach.
Exactly.
And while we think well, it's pitched to us as self-care, it's
Mhm,
like just not quite like, here's a wee bit of self-care, but don't go daft on it, because you
yeah.
still need to be here for everybody else in case
Mhm,
this, that, or the next thing happens.
yeah. It is. It's cheap, relatively cheap. It's easy, relatively readily available. It's there.
Mhm.
It is there, and it's not going to take you away, like you say, from that situation. Now, I think again, it's important though, just to say we're not judging anybody here. We did it.
Yeah.
This is again just about bringing some awareness to the reasons why we do it, the reasons why mums are relying on alcohol, and again, just bringing that understanding as to what is driving mums, women to drink.
Yeah.
You know?
It was definitely a turning point for me as well. Like, it's definitely once I had had Alfie,
Mm-hmm.
um, that whether my alcohol actually increased or whether it was my views about my alcohol had changed, but I had more reasons not to drink, right? Because I had
Mm-hmm.
this job and I had a kid to look after and I had like so many more responsibilities. So that's why I shouldn't have drank.
Mm-hmm.
But I had more reasons to drink because I had a job and I had a
Mm-hmm.
kid and I had all these responsibilities that were making me stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And dinner, there's a glass of wine to calm you down.
Yeah.
Like, so that was why I drank more.
Yeah.
Like, that is why I had the drink. I worked part time, so I finished on a Wednesday and I
Mm-hmm.
was drinking on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then I was drinking at the weekend because that was the
Mm-hmm.
weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why at our circle, we believe it's not just about stopping drinking.
No.
It's about, if we just take out the drink and we don't look at this load, then the balance is the balance that you've worked very hard to create in life,
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Right? If you then take something away, things are going to feel like
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be off kilter. And we're not saying be defiant and radical and down tools and tell everyone you're on your own. Like,
No.
we're not saying that. It's our understanding of the load that needs to change. It's our expectations of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
So
not saying
right.
don't do it. I'm not saying don't be that mum that you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is possible, but in the context of the load and the alcohol, that's where we just need to look at things a wee bit differently. And I think that's why our circle's different to some other alcohol-free groups, because
Yeah,
we'll look at it all together.
absolutely.
And it's not to say that men don't have their
No, no,
issues,
not
that
at all.
they, like, men have got their reasons for drinking too.
Hmm.
And that's why it's important to look at it in context and not just be, I need to stop drinking or I
Yeah,
want to stop drinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at that in isolation, just the drinking in isolation, you're not viewing the whole picture. So again, like you say, that's why we look at it as a like holistic approach on this, because you can't just look at one bit, because ultimately it's not going to fix it. It's not going to answer it. So
No, they're just so hand in hand, I think. And
mhm.
again, it's not about, we don't offer all the solutions to to
No,
the load of motherhood. We've not quite cracked that one
yeah,
yet. But I think it's about just, see, when you get that, see, when you understand that, you can look
mhm.
at your drinking with a wee bit more compassion
Yeah,
and understanding and be like, all right, this is why.
exactly. Yeah, we we're drinking out of exhaustion, overwhelm, mental and physical like overload.
Mhm.
Is that whole exhaustion piece. That's the reason that we're reaching for that glass. It's not because we're reaching for what's in it necessarily, is just reaching for that quick fix, because again, we're told, hey, that's going to solve all your problems. And you don't even have to leave the house for it.
Exactly. But this is where the tagline comes in, isn't it? We
Yeah,
deserve more.
we do deserve more. We deserve more than crappy glass of wine at the end of the day,
Yeah.
because that ain't a reward that I want. Thank you. I
No,
deserve
it's
way more after, yeah, putting in a shift. I want more than that. Thank you very much.
exactly. We do. We just deserve so much more. It is about, life is more than that glass. Um, and we just hope to, I think when we have these honest conversations with our mums, it just creates awareness and compassion and a bit of understanding. And that in itself is refreshing, because when you think back to what we've discussed in previous episodes, where we've been in that, like, oh, this isn't good enough, but I'm not that bad. And we've been in these cycles of, what will I do? Can I do something? Just bringing a wee bit of lightness and understanding is like the
Yeah,
first part to it all.
it really is. It really is.
Well, yes, we deserve more. So I think we'll wrap things up there. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you are leaving this episode feeling seen, supported, and reminded that you do not have to do this alone. If anything in the episode has resonated with you and you're curious about what more could look like, you can find us over at our circle. But until next time, please take gentle care of yourself, because we deserve more.